Okay, roll call.
Councilman Ballas?
Here.
Councilman Tichon?
Here.
Councilman Truzy?
Here.
Councilman Stein?
Here.
Councilman Tichon?
Here.
Councilman Bonadilla?
Here.
President Faust?
Here. Okay, now I would like to ask Austin Davis to come up, and he has a presentation, I understand.
Yes. Well, first, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Mr. Tichon and Mr. Ballas will join me up here. I have a little something for them. I'm not going to read it, but you know, I wanted to take a moment to present a proclamation to these two individuals for their service to the Munhall community, but not just Munhall, to the entire Mon Valley. Public service is really so important to our community and to me as a person. And I think, you know, oftentimes we don't realize the folks who dedicate so many hours to serving the community here. And it really is a sacrifice, not just for you guys, but for your families, because you spend a lot of hours here dealing with controversial issues at times, but trying to always make the right decision to move your community forward. And I really just wanted to say, as a younger person in the community who's serving in public service, thank you for the service that both of you guys have offered to the community. Mr. Tichon, over 40 years of your service here to Munhall. It's really something to be lauded, and it's an example for young people to look to. And to Mr. Ballas, your 16 years here on council has truly made Munhall a better place. And so I wanted to present you two with these proclamations on behalf of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. And thank you for your service. And now I know you're transitioning from government service, but you're not leaving community service, and we're still going to see you at the community days and all the public service events that happen right here in Munhall.
We're running in the spring.
Yeah. You're running in the spring.
Not on your life.
Joe, Austin, Joe and John, can you stand up for a minute?
Oh, sure.
Stand two with us.
Yeah.
In the middle. Get in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Okay, I have two proclamations here too from the borough of Munhall, the council. And first we'll do John first. He's our senior man here.
It's called old. Seniority.
And I'll actually read it, they're not too long. Whereas John J. Tichon has been on the Munhall Borough Council from 1968 to the present. Whereas John J. Tichon served the resident of Munhall as president of council from 2002 to 2007. And we know that's not an easy job. Whereas John J. Tichon has been a councilman of Munhall for 42 years. Whereas John J. Tichon was instrumental in forming the Still Valley Veterans Day Committee. Whereas John J. Tichon generously contributed to the well-being of others. Whereas John J. Tichon is happily married to Lois Fawcett Tichon since 1961. He is proud father of 5, Matthew, Timothy, Linda, Leslie, and Nicole. And he has also been blessed with multiple grandchildren. And whereas the Munhall Borough recognizes John J. Tichon for his dedicated service to Munhall Borough and his exceptional contribution for his time to our community, we offer best wishes for every future happiness. John, always my pleasure. About 10 years maybe. Wow.
Not necessary, but very much appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. And the next one is Joseph Omar Ballas, Councilman, Borough of Munhall. Whereas Councilman Ballas has been part of Munhall Borough Council for 16 years, 3 4-year terms and a 2-year term. Whereas the appointment to council on November 21st, 2001 to fill the vacant seat left by the passing of Clem Matta to a 2-year term. Whereas being appointed to the Parks and Rec, Public Safety, Fire, Emergency Services, and ADA committees over the years for his service to the borough. If not a member of the committee, he chaired the committee. Whereas the help of the Campbell Foundation, Councilman Ballas was instrumental with the update and renovation of Westfield, which was completed in 2016. Remember that first meeting that came about with that Westfield? Whereas Joe has been council president for 4 years. Joseph Ballas never considered himself a politician. He considered himself a public servant. He has 2 children, a daughter Angie and a
Son Mike.
son Mike. Okay, they have not order here. I'm sorry.
He knows.
They have Mike as your grandchild and Ryan and son-in-law and son Mike. Grandchildren Kendall and Nolan. And whereas your dedication, time, and efforts are appreciated, that has been given to the Borough of Munhall, we offer the best wishes for every future happiness. Joe.
Thank you very much.
Happy to serve with both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Once again. All right.
Okay, Mayor Brennan.
Thank you. Trevon, please step up with us as well. Everyone, I'd like to introduce Trevon Epps. He's a senior at Steel Valley High School. He will be our junior council person. I'm very proud to introduce him to you and to council as well. So we're going to swear Trevon in tonight. So would you please repeat after me, Trevon? Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Trevon Epps, do solemnly pledge that I accept the position of Munhall Borough Junior Council Person. I promise to attend monthly council meetings, observe Borough Council meeting rules, and actively participate in borough business. I understand that I cannot vote on any issues, and I cannot attend executive sessions. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Trevon, welcome. And I also want to recognize here tonight is a couple of our incoming councilmen, Mark Fallon and Kevin Ondo. These guys have been attending meetings for a long time. I know they're keeping you informed of what's going on, and I want to welcome them here tonight and welcome them to June 6th, swearing in. Did we get sworn in? January 6th. We're not going to hold you off that long. January 6th. Why am I speaking? Okay, moving forward, now, Joe, I guess, or who's opening? You or the secretary? Opening the bids for the partials?
Finance Chair Stein.
Oh, stop. Okay, Mr. Stein?
That was his name.
I didn't know who was going to open
I
it.
didn't know I was opening either.
Okay. These are the bids, 4 months ago. We have 9 parcels that we put up in the borough, one of them being the fire hall and various streets where there's vacant properties next to where people live, to see if anybody had interest and want to put a bid in on them.
Do you want me to read the block and lot?
Yeah.
Okay. Block and lot 181-E-100, fronting on East James Street.
Name?
James Koneski, Konesky Jr.
And amount?
$500.
Is there security
Yeah,
enclosed?
$25 check. Second bid. This one, Ryan Perhack, Perhac. Single bid for lot 179-N-148, fronting on Creek Street, $501. And a check for $25.05. Bid from Robert Rosado, ROS ATO, for lot 181-A-205, fronting on Charles Street, $30,000.
That would be the fire hall, I would imagine.
Yeah. Check for $1,500.
Yeah.
That's why I gave you, I didn't have one.
See, like I said, on purpose. Bid from Kenneth Lockhart, Lockhart. Single bid for lot 181-A-081, fronting on Mary Street, $1,800. Check for $90. Bid from Gregory Baranowski, Baranowski. Single bid for lot 182-010, renting on Virginia Avenue, $1,760. Check for $88.
Could you read that parcel again?
Yep. 182-A-010. That's the triangular lot.
Yeah.
Bid, another bid from Gregory Baranowski, same person, same address. Single bid for lot 182-A-008, fronting on McQueen Street, $2,260. Check for $113. Bid from Barry Hoffman, Hoffman. Single bid for lot 181-A-205, fronting on Charles Street, $64,600. Check for $3,230. Getting close to the end.
Need two more.
Two more. Bid from Ralph Preffer, Perffer Jr., for lot 181-A-205, fronting on Charles Street, $100,100. Check for $5,005. Last bid. Bid from Tracy Wallace, Wallace, lot 181-A-205, fronting on Charles Street, $27,777. Do not see a check. No check.
What was the address again?
The Charles Street property.
And how much was that?
$27,777. No hand money. That is the extent of the bids.
Okay, at this time, council has the option to accept any of the offers, but as a reminder, the bids must remain open for 60 days. What more commonly happens at this stage is there's a motion to refer the bids and supporting documents to the manager for tabulation of a bid sheet for further consideration by council, perhaps at the next meeting. It's whatever your pleasure is.
Is that in order right now?
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Tichon, second by Mr. Ballas. And to get it right, this is a motion to hold this off for review by the manager till next month. Am I correct? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays? Okay, motion carries. We'll review these and look at them next month. Okay, moving on, the public comments will be limited to 3 minutes, must avoid personal references, personalities, and personnel-related issues. Reading Fry. Is on the agenda to speak tonight? Hello.
I see the first thing under the motion is to accept the budget. And I just want to, should I wait until the public comment about the budget? Then, or
If
can I
it's one of the
just?
items for consideration,
Okay.
you should probably just speak on what you signed up to speak. And then when we do items for consideration,
I got it.
do that.
No problem. My first thing on the right to speak was, would you share with us what's going on at 1860 West Street?
The contractor, Triton, is, they're pretty complete with demolition. With the general demolition, they're in the process of doing asbestos abatement. There is one issue we're considering, there was some asbestos we were considering in place that we're now considering to remove. We were gonna build a bulkhead over it. So we're weighing some costs on that, and everything is going pretty smoothly. Nothing major to report.
Okay, so did we get the bond to do this work, or are we still waiting to hear about that?
Still working through that process.
Okay, we haven't gotten it yet. Okay, and do we have any word from Turtle Creek saying they are interested for sure, or nothing?
They made it clear in the meeting when they were here that they were going to move forward.
Okay. Second question on the right to speak was about Code Red. Could you tell us when there's going to be a seminar for those of us to be able to use it?
Well, actually, there was a ton of events by putting the budget together. We had to cut about 15% across the board. So that was, we met with the safety committee, with some of the police officers, firemen, and we talked to some other municipalities. We felt that that was something that we needed to cut out of the budget. We haven't used it. We had no need for it in 2019. Talked to some other municipalities. I asked another municipality how often they used it. They said they used it twice in the last few years. So we felt that that was something that we could take out of the budget.
I thought we were getting that for free,
No.
okay? I do want to thank everybody for submitting, because the third thing on my right to speak was, would you please let those of us who come have a copy of your report? And I thank you for doing that, because then we're able to follow what you're talking about and see it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Reports of borough officials, Mayor.
I really didn't have a whole lot prepared to speak about tonight. I did have some things to say about the budget and the cuts that you just mentioned, and how we can go from one point in our timeline to another point in the timeline and change from being in a positive mode to cutting, you know, heck, we're cutting kids' programs out of Troutman Field. We can't afford that, but we can afford to spend $380,000 a month for the Willis Center, but we can't afford to have a program for Troutman Field kids. And, you know, a 15% across the board is pretty stringent cuts, thinking about where we're going forward with all this. And as far as I can see, or what I heard from the last meeting, is that the Turtle Creek Valley Authority said that they had all intentions of doing that, but we do not have a contract from them as far as I've seen, so I don't know that we have an agreement that they're going to be moving in over there yet, so I hope they do. I mean, honestly, it would be great to have someone in there with us. But in moving forward, to be cutting lunch programs and kids programs and paving projects, and to be cutting, you know, this matching grant that we have, that we were so lucky to get from the state, that's a matching grant. So we need to match dollar for dollar what they put into that for our town as far as recreational bids as well. That's not really addressed in the budget, and, you know, there's a lot that needs to be talked about again here, because we're moving forward over there at a clip of, how much is it a month? 300 and what? 80,000, 60,000?
That's annually.
Pardon me?
That's annually.
Annually, right. Annually. And we can't afford to run a program for our kids at Troutman Field. So I don't understand that. I would have certainly not, I would have wanted to look further into this before I would have signed off on that loan or on that agreement or ordinance per se. And it's too late now to veto an ordinance like that, but boy, it would have been nice to know where we were at, and that was something that we didn't know where we were at, I guess. I mean, so that's all I have to say. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's certainly a festive time of the year. I wish everyone to be safe out there. The roads are very bad tonight. Traffic is backed up all throughout West Mifflin. So be very careful if you have plans of driving anywhere tonight. Of course, our Munhall Borough Public Works did a great job today, as they always do. Our fire company is always number one, and so is our police department. So thank you all. Merry Christmas to council. And have a wonderful 2020.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Report of the solicitor.
Thank you. Just two quick things. I did receive a copy of a letter and an application for exemption of real estate taxation on behalf of Homestead Cemetery, actually submitted by future councilman Fallon as president of the Homestead Cemetery Association. Everything looks to me to be in order. It's not a decision that we make, but I'm provided a copy as a solicitor for the borough. It's a decision that is made by Allegheny County Office of Property Assessment. So that's a report on something I've received. And one other quick item, as we have motion 4 is to, motion 4, I'm requesting that some language be added to that to approve the easement agreement with People's Gas, which we discussed last month. I'd like to have added to the end of that motion, subject to solicitor approval, because it's missing some critical language, specifically indemnification agreement that I want People's to give us in case something happens. The thing would explode or someone gets hurt or property damage. I want them indemnifying us and protecting us. That's not in there. So that is a glaring missing part of that document. So if you add that language, it's okay to approve it subject to that, and I'll make sure, I'll get in touch with the solicitor for Peoples and make sure that that's corrected. That's my recommendation. And then lastly, the motion 5, I did prepare that agreement. This is a very positive thing regarding improvements to Troutman Field. which will be fully funded by the Campbell Foundation. So we will have the agreement between the borough and the contractors. And also they requested that the school sign off as well, or not the school,
Youth baseball.
yeah, the baseball association, yeah, Steel Valley Youth Baseball Association. So that's in order. I drafted the agreement, everything's good, so that's a very positive improvement for the borough. And that's all I have, and I echo the mayor's sentiments. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you.
Good catch on motion floor, thank you. Report of the manager.
I have nothing to report other than the agenda items.
Wonderful. Report of the engineer.
I'll be brief tonight. I just wanted to, as I mentioned last month, follow up. We submitted a grant requesting $300,000 to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Finance Authority. It was part of the Pennsylvania Small Water and Sewer Grant Program. I included a breakdown of all those funds requested and a description of the work in my packet. Fingers crossed. And unless there's any other questions, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Public Works, I know the roads are kind of slick out there tonight, and I imagine he's out there on the roads tonight. And I just want to echo that what the mayor has said. Munhall Public Works does a great job, one of the best around. I was late getting home tonight, so I know what it was until I got to Munhall, and we weren't backed up and the roads were better, and so I applaud those guys every time they're out there helping us out. They do what a wonderful job. Police Chief, Pat's not here. Any report from the chief tonight? No. Okay. Fire Chief, Eddie.
Thank you, Mr. President. Bureau of Fire responded to 37 alarms, calls for assistance in November. Putting in a little under 1,300 man hours. There were no injuries. I want to stress a couple things to everybody. I want to make one point. Cancer has overtaken heart disease as the #1 killer of firefighters throughout the country. Having said that, number 4 does a charity drive up on Main Street every year to do a boot collection drive. You see that every year, and I've been a fireman for 38 years almost. Every year, 100% of that money goes to whatever charity they choose, and they usually choose a local charity. One of our firefighters was recently diagnosed with some melanoma, so we're donating that money this year to the Cancer Center. They have a special fund for that. So if you're driving up Main Street the week before Christmas and you see that boot out there, that's where that money's getting donated. The other thing that I want to keep in mind, everybody to keep in mind, is that the holidays are supposed to be fun. You should enjoy your families, enjoy yourselves, try to be safe. Think safety. If anybody has or knows anybody that has a live Christmas tree, please just make sure that they keep it watered. I don't know if anybody's ever seen a Christmas tree firing, but it goes up like a Roman candle in about 30 seconds. And a fire doubles in size every 90 seconds, which means in 2 minutes your entire first floor will be on fire. So make sure you're practicing good safety procedures for the holidays. I want to make sure everybody's safe, and my guys would rather stay home on the holiday than be out helping people. So, any questions for the fire department?
On an interesting note, I think I just read on Facebook that the oldies dance is returning in March.
No. Ask Rich.
Rich, is it returning in March, the oldies dance?
March 7th.
March 7th, and that's a good cause. It's a great time, and it's helps the fire department raise money for all that they do to help us out, and helps them raise money for things that they need that the borough doesn't, finance and help them.
It's going to be held at the Palisades.
That's what I understand. So, return of the oldies dance, March 7th. If you've never been there, you're missing a good time. I've been there for a good bit of them over the last probably 12 years, and it's a good time. Yeah. So I'm sure next month they'll have some tickets up here, maybe if anybody's interested in buy. We haven't had them printed yet.
My annual report for the year will be next meeting. I'll have that to everybody by then.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Okay, Code Enforcement Officer.
You have called through my report. The only thing I have to add is last week house on 21st Ave, or 21st Street, several blocks in the back fell down. No, the house is actually be demolished tomorrow. It was, they said it was just too hard for them to repair the bricks, so they bring it here down. Unfortunately, because I had a fire that was gonna buy for $7,000, but they thought liability, they didn't want to stay.
They could auction off that one.
Next.
That's all I have to report. Are there any questions?
Thank you. Okay, the number 6, public comments on items for consideration. That's 7 items up here tonight. I'll take, Mark, go.
Just a question on the code red, Joe. Is that the notification program that we?
Yeah.
What was the cost on that?
2,500.
A year?
Yeah, well, and what we find out too, and the biggest thing that we can do with Code Red is water, right? There's where the breaks come, and we were thinking a lot of that. When we got on, Becky, myself, and a few others got on to Code Red and downloaded it, you automatically get all the water notifications from the water company. So if you download it, you're still getting those, and that was kind of the priority of what we had to notify residents of things like that. We thought we'd use it in-house differently, but it doesn't look like it's going to.
All right, one other thing, the mayor mentioned about a Troutman program being cut, summer program, what was that? Is that the playground program?
Right.
Reedy?
At last week's workshop, I mentioned about the 2020 budget. I was told that it was viewable to the public on Friday, December 6th. I did ask, when was it advertised, and I was told December 5th in the Ballas and Tichon. I happened to be in the office with Mr. Warhol on December 5th because I questioned him about this official notice for the Borough of Munhall regarding governmental funds. My last question to him was, do we have a budget? And he said, no, we don't. We're working on it. We hope to have it done tomorrow. He never mentioned that it was supposed to be in the Ballas and Tichon on December 5th. But he did say at last week's workshop that it was. I would like an explanation.
Yeah, that's fine. You came into my office, you threw the piece of paper at me, correct? When you threw the piece of paper at me and said you didn't understand what this was, I asked you what the question was. Therefore, then when we were done discussing that, you asked me about the budget. And I clearly said, the budget's not done yet,
Did you feel deceived or something?
Mr. Tichon, did he not say that it was in the December 5th issue of the Ballas and Tichon?
Do you want to hear the answer, or you're just going to talk? I'm just asking.
I didn't stop.
I told you at the end of the day, Becky heard the whole conversation. I told you that it's not done yet. It should be done by the end of the day, tomorrow at the latest. And Becky put it on the counter for display on the next day in the morning. So exactly what I told you is what we did. And if you want to just say whatever, something else, go ahead. If that makes you happy. Because I said exactly what I told you is exactly what we did.
The budget isn't official yet anyway. It is not. I mean, their work has been, it's been done on it for the last 3-4 months. It'll be done, I'm guessing, and it won't be done even if we adopt it tonight. It'll still be open for some further criticism. So my question of you, Rainey, did you feel deceived? Do you think he was tricking you or fooling you?
I'm not saying he is tricking me. I'm saying he made the statement it was in the Valley Mirror.
It was advertised in the Valley Mirror.
I have it. Would you like to show me where it is so that everybody can see it? I have the issue right here.
It was in the Valley Mirror.
Was it advertised?
Here's the issue, Jack.
This is the one that, this is the Valley Mirror, and I have emails downstairs where the lady told me they got pushed out. They have a new person there. 2 of our ads got pushed out off the paper.
And so.
They have a brand new person at the Valley Mirror. When she was posting all these legal notices, she put 2 of them in between ours and pushed ours off the page. So there were 2 that didn't make it. And I have the emails. So under, because I don't read Valley Mirror, and I don't know if Joe sits and reads Valley Mirror, he would have assumed that it was in there, and so did I.
Well, he said
Until somebody said something to me, and then I went back to my emails and went to the Valley Mirror and said, hey, what happened here? And talked with Marilyn at the Valley Mirror. And she said, I'm so sorry, this doesn't happen here. We missed, both of them wrong. They were both wrong.
So it wouldn't be published then in the 12th issue, which I have.
Right. No.
Vicki?
So,
Was that in the Valley Mirror was it in the Valley Mirror the following week?
No,
It
no.
has not been in the Valley Mirror?
No, she did not put it in, but it was up on the counter for display, and we talked about it in the workshop.
Up on our counter?
Yeah, at the office.
And on the website?
It's on the website, yeah. So we changed it, a proposed has changed several times. The proposed budget has changed several times. So we posted it, put it up there. Oh no, we have to change that, so pull it down. I mean, we spent one day, I asked Carrie to pull it down like 4 times in one day. Pull it off your counter, I gotta fix it.
That's what's different.
That's, until it's an adopted budget, it's gonna change. It's not gonna,
Give
but
them a copy of it.
even if what we had in the Valley Mirror was in the Valley Mirror, it would have been the same one that you got.
She has a copy?
well,
Wouldn't
you
have been
know,
the
What's
I
the
was,
problem? You have a copy ring. What's the problem?
it's not in the paper, Mr. Tichon.
She just said it was pushed out, didn't she?
It's not our fault.
It got pushed out, Marilyn said she pushed it out, and it was a completely different one that was gonna go in the paper from the one that you actually got from
Does
me.
the budget have to be legally advertised in a newspaper?
It's supposed to be advertised.
That's a yes, Randy. It's not been advertised in a paper. It needs to be put in a paper and advertised. Thank you.
And that's what we have to do.
Yes, we do. We haven't done that yet.
Okay, so when we do that, then after that,
What I'm just, why am I just hearing this tonight that it wasn't in the paper?
thank you.
Nobody looked at it, we didn't know what.
I don't think we read the Valley Mirror.
We don't read it, it's
I
like
haven't
30
bought it
seconds.
for you
I know
in 3
the
weeks.
paper.
Excuse.
But it's probably a good idea to do.
Thank you, Mr. Tichon. Do you not think, be it the head of finance, the borough manager? I'm just saying,
I'm
I just
happy
want
that
some
you're informed.
transparency.
You have to be informed, and that's important.
and that's all I'm asking, okay? I'm asking that. And, yeah, I'm the one who stands up and I see the snippers and I see the faces. You know what? I'm asking a legitimate question. I was told one thing, I go back. You didn't know that it wasn't in, but you said it was. You didn't know it was in until you called and it wasn't. Well then, I would think that maybe it could be in the next week, which is the 12th,
Can
and
we
it
have,
wasn't.
are we having this in tomorrow? We'll be in tomorrow's Valley Mirror.
No, you
Their
won't,
cutoff
because
is
you can't
tomorrow,
do it.
so you'll have to have, if we're gonna have to do it before the end of the year, we're gonna have to have a special meeting.
We have to do what is legal.
Thank you, Mr. Tichon.
I mean, I wish I would have known.
I would like, I just mentioned, I was the impression it was in the paper.
We shouldn't
I
have
had
to
no
find
idea
this
that
out
it
at the
wasn't in
meeting.
there. So we absolutely have to get in there, and we will. So thank you for bringing that to our attention.
When we advertised, they send it back to proof and everything, we put it in the book, and that was all completed.
Right, I know our intent was there, but Valley Mirror should have made it right and put it in the following week.
They sent us a proof of that?
Yeah.
Say that again.
We have a proof of ad that we did our due diligence to put it in there. And this is.
You have to know that.
Well, that's important. The Valley Mirror told you that they advertised it.
No, well, we didn't
It's
even
not us
notice
to-
that it wasn't
us to read the
advertised
paper.
until.
There's a proof of that. There's a proof of that.
Right,
That's your verification, they did what you asked them to do.
right.
For what it's
Well,
worth.
who's
we've
held
had-
accountable, Mr. Evans?
Me?
The newspaper.
It's gonna roll right here.
Okay.
For what it's worth, I personally, for advertising our construction projects, and not only here, I've had trouble with that before in the past, totally unrelated to this. So,
Anytime I've put an article in the Valley Mirror, and I'm just the person, I get the Valley Mirror to see if the article's in it. I don't wait to see if somebody's going to question it. I automatically see it. I paid for it. I would assume that it would, and you don't assume anything, as we all know. So as soon as I put something in, and I know that I met the deadline, you know what I mean, for that week, I automatically get it. And I look to see if it was, and then I think, well, my check was good. If it wasn't in there, then I would be up here. In that case, I maybe can't go up there, but you could call. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't want you to think we're trying to deceive you.
No, it's not just me, Mr. Tichon, it's Munhall. We have a right to know, and we're told one thing, and I hate to say it. Every one of you can sit there and say, I don't get a Ballymeer, I didn't check it out. You're checking the advice of what
But we got a
Mr.
proof
Tichon
of
did.
the
They checked it
ad.
out.
We got a proof of the ad back. That says something.
I was told it was in, I didn't buy the Valley Mirror, for whatever reason. I did it anymore.
Make sure whatever has to be done is done. Unless we want.
Put it in the Post Gazette.
I can get it in the post, I can get it in the next post gazette. Yeah.
Thank you. And Merry Christmas to all of you.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, Merry
Be on
Christmas.
the 30th. Advertising, we'll put the date in there, the meeting will be on the 30th at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, public comments. Any more public comments? Yes, Michael?
I had a question, again, on the budget, and I know it's flexible and so forth. What I had seen, the preliminaries so far, it showed that we were paying for the bond, the $330,000, that was on the expense side. I didn't see anything, and obviously I could have missed it, on the reimbursement. Like I was wondering, and I heard this evening that we don't have a bond yet. I'm assuming that will occur sometime this year. Will that money be used, and will it show up? I mean, it won't show up in the budget, but will we get it?
Yes, that would be, yes, that's a good question. That money, we'll reimburse for that money, that will go into the reserves.
Okay, so we're
So,
not,
yeah, the budget, the way the budget should be is what's coming in should show that the exact amount is coming out, not counting any carryover.
okay, so at least what I saw, we're paying out for the bond, but we're not counting for the bond yet.
We will have a surplus of that amount into the general fund.
Okay, and then all the work that was done previously
Will be reimbursed.
reimbursed. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, and just regarding the Valley Mirror, is the bond, in the Valley Mirror, it said the bond was $10 million? And, well, when we had spoken about it, it was 7.2 million. So, and there was, Brentwood was involved, and then I noticed Brentwood Bank is involved with something else here, so I wasn't sure. But you may want to look into that as well, because that was a little confusing.
It was an ad in the Valley Mirror with those figures?
Well, it was, I think I have,
Yeah.
What is the borrowing powers
You have-
up to 10 million?
Legally, the money you borrow, you have to put so many percent into the bond. Remember how we explained it in the meeting?
Okay.
It's just legalities of how things have to be done.
That's the limit, but there's no intent to borrow.
Right,
so-
right.
I wasn't sure which one, but it was something about Brentwood, and I wasn't sure if we were going with Brentwood.
The tax anticipation.
I don't know.
Can you ask any other questions in regard to the budget at this point?
Sure.
Okay, so Phil Hanna, 138 Colonel Drive, Munhall, Pennsylvania. So I've attended the last few meetings. I'm aware of the bond we talked about previously passed. One of the things we talked about was operating expenses of the buildings. So, you know, at this point, the last meeting discussion was TK was going to come back hopefully at the end of this year with a set of plans so you can go out and bid. Okay? At this point, do we have any estimate on how long construction will take and when we would occupy the building? So at a certain point, if staff from this building move,
into the other building, do we have operating expenses associated with operating 2 buildings in this year's budget? If the building won't be finished until 2021, it's a moot point. But is that being considered by the finance committee at this point?
We talked about it with the architect, Colin and I. We're obviously not gonna have all the lights on in every building.
Sure.
This is very expensive to operate. Wouldn't you agree? This building? Right, so when we shut this building down, that's gonna be very efficient. We're not looking at, the way we talk, Colin could probably talk better, it's not gonna be much of an increase, if anything, because of what we save over there for the bulk of it versus what we have to put here.
So the plans today would be, okay, 2 out of the 4 floors are to be occupied. Just move the staff out of this building, the fire department stays.
Right.
At that point, we would efficiently as possible only power the needed parts to this building, which you do have to heat it, especially in the winter because of water pipes and things like that. But it's really, I mean, I know you don't have a crystal ball and you don't know when the construction is going to be done and everything else, but do you have some sort of, I guess in the standpoint, I know it's going to be more efficient, is that going to be a LEED certified building from an energy efficiency standpoint?
It's going to meet energy code. I don't know that it's not going to be LEED Platinum or LEED Gold certified. Just in terms of the schedule, I'm projecting it's probably going to be an 8 to 10 month construction schedule. And at this point, probably not looking, based on where our architect's at and where construction is at, probably not going to advertise till end of February, go through procurement for a couple months. So realistically, it might be that, there may be a small sliver of overlap at the end of the year, but there's probably not going to be too much overlap.
So worst possible case, if you're saying 8 months, you would have to award the bid to the contractor April 1st, and if it's 8 months,
it would be pretty tight. I mean,
right,
if the contractor,
very little impact to any budget.
Yeah,
potentially.
That would be my opinion.
Okay.
And when we met last, we're gonna look at some operating cost studies and stuff, as things kind of progress. But it's probably not gonna have much, if any, impact on this year's budget. Fair enough?
I mean, if that's what you guys say, then, all right, we'll take you at your word. Thank you.
Any more questions on agenda item? Anyone else? Okay, seeing no more, we'll move on to items for consideration.
We have to start this first motion, right? Yeah, we have to take motions.
Yes, we have to table motion 1, and we would also have to table motion 2.
Yeah, it should be done together.
1 and 2.
Since the public's here, tell them, when are these gonna be voted on?
December 30th.
December 30th at 6 p.m.
6 p.m., December 30th, 6 p.m. Include that as part of the ad where the budget is on display and the meeting, okay?
Okay. Motion to approve application for and acceptance of tax anticipation loan for year 2020 from Brentwood Bank in the amount of $1 billion at 2.25% fixed interest rate, fixed interest available payable in full by December 31st, 2020. Total fees of $2,500, subject to final approval by bank and completion and execution of all necessary documents.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Tichon, second by Councilman Ballas. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays? Nays, motion carried.
Motion to approve agreement with Peoples Gas to have easement for a valve behind Troutman Field, subject to solicitor approval.
Motion. Motion by Councilman Engel, second by Councilman Petruzzi. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Seeing no nays, motion carries.
Motion to approve an agreement for renovations at Troutman Field conducive conducted by Steel Valley Youth Baseball Association and funded through Campbell Education and Community Foundation.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Councilman Ballas, second by Councilman Stein. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays? No nays? Motion carries.
Motion to pay bills for the period of November 20, 2019 through December 17, 2019, summarized as follows. $209,503.76.
Motion.
Second.
Motion, Councilman Engel, second by Councilman Votaday, and all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays? Nays? Motion carries.
Motion to approve payroll for the period of November 14th and November 28th, 2019, with a total of $265,491.27.
Motion.
Second. Motion by Councilman Stein, was that second by Councilman Tichon? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays? Motion carries. Okay, other additional items for the good of the body for council tonight? Yes.
Just a question. About a year or so ago, there was an issue brought up about horses on Woodhill Drive.
Nothing been heard about it.
Everybody was, well, I don't know, there were, people were checking into like ordinance or something about it. Has anything come about that now, a year later?
The ordinance on it, weren't you?
Ordinance or findings or something about having animals like that?
Yeah, well, I drafted an ordinance that would regulate animals such as horses. This is many months ago, I haven't looked at it in quite a while. And there was a lot of gaps that had to be filled in, part of regulations I didn't want to guess at. And I thought that it was referred to the planning commission for, but I can't say, I have to look at my notes. I just don't recall, but it was done in draft. I can say that with certainty, where it went from there and when it
Now, I know Dave has something that his grandfather gave him, it's a lot of history.
Yeah.
Just talk about it briefly, Dave, and then we can maybe put it on display. Anybody wants to see it tonight?
I don't know.
He told me before the meeting that there's a lot of history he has back there on Munhall Borough that his grandfather has had throughout the years.
So this is a gift given to the very first mayor of Munhall. His name was John Murray Malamphy. He was from Ottawa, Canada. He was born in 1842. He ended up opening a business here called Allman and Malamphy Furniture and Hardware Dealers. And this bowl was a gift given to him. And it's on the Malamphy Furniture and Hardware Company. Compliments from Munhall.
Is there any date on it?
No.
Now, would it actually be
Grandfather says
considered?
they gotta be like 100.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
No, would it even actually considered the mayor, or would it even like a burn just at that time? Yeah, but like, let's just say it was the mayor.
Yeah. So, I mean, if this was something that you guys wanted to put on display or something like that, so it'd be cool to, do like a loan.
Who was your grandfather?
Ed, yeah. He said he has some other Munhall things he can dig up.
I mean,
Pretty neat.
Put Mayor, that thing down the bottom of the dump that last thing.
if you would like to donate that, I mean, we would definitely appreciate him being able to display it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll ask him about it again and then see if that's what he wants to do. And then
Get some
you
little
guys
plaque or
do.
something, wrote up and put it
Yeah,
on.
right.
That'd be nice.
All right, cool, thanks.
Motion to adjourn, there, Mr. Chairman.
I've got a question.
I'll take a question.
One more thing. Donna usually asks us, I'll ask instead.
What's the balance?
What's the balance?
It's in the neighborhood of $910,322.34.
Motion by Councilman Tichon, Councilman Buddy, you seconded it? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays?
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays, thank you all.